so hey, what's going on, missionaries? Okay, so introvert versus extrovert, right? So there's a phrase that came to me that Spirit told me today that was very, very powerful. And I think I said it on my podcast. I didn't say it on my podcast. It's my first time saying it here in public, right? So introverts most times are more likely to not have external resources to get things from. They are more than likely to get things from within. Extroverts are more likely to have outside resources and validation to pull things from. Meaning, if an extrovert wants a problem solved, they usually, and I'm saying this from real experience, they don't have nobody to call. Like me, a lot of introverts, especially if you got big goals that nobody in your peer group can help you accomplish, you usually ain't pulling from outside yourself. You pulling from within yourself. And whether that makes you want to read more, study more, grind more, whatever. Whatever. It, like for me, all my goals, I couldn't pull from my outside resources or my network or physical people, because every time I tried to pull from them, including my own father, who was probably, at one point in my life, was the closest physical example, meaning like somebody I can actually walk downstairs and see, not somebody I met on the internet, which is similar but not the same thing. I couldn't even pull from him because he didn't share the power that I have, because his reality is not mine. And that's something I had to realize. His drive and reason for things is not mine. Like my drive is not my family. His drive is. Because he's been there for a long time and blah, blah, blah. He's been in that position since he was 21 years old. It was about his family, his kids, etc., etc. That's not my motivation. My motivation is selfish. My motivation is about me and the people in my community that I want to affect. But it's about me. I want to be rich for me. So for me, personally, I had to realize and understand that, like, introverts don't pull their power. Their power source is not outside themselves. Believe me, as an introvert, I tried it. It doesn't work. When I say I will do whatever to pull from outside myself, when I tell you that shit does not work, I would say it like this: it would give you so much false fucking hope. Oh God, that shit makes me want to cry. I'll pull it outside yourself, unless they have what you want, and sometimes that's not true. But I'm gonna give that you have a 60% better shot than anything. When you try to pull from outside yourself, you get such a deep amount of false fucking hope that you end up fucked up, because when you realize it ain't shit, you be like, damn, bro, fuck. And being an introvert, usually you get to the place where you know better already. You get all the signs, because you get observant. So you see all the signs, all the coincidences, and you say, yo, oh shit, this ain't it. You see all the numbers, the 2222, that you like, yo, this ain't it, bruh. This ain't it, bruh. And the extroverts, like for instance, I was telling an old friend of mine, she's an extrovert because she's always seeking outside validation. Whenever she wants to do something, she never goes within herself for the answer. I have to teach her as her polar opposite. And she doesn't believe me because she's been in her parents' house all her life. But I'm telling her, I said, yo, you are always looking for social validation. And so you can do what you have to do. Or you always have to pull from somebody outside. It's not a negative thing. It's just a different reality. You always got to pull from somebody outside yourself to help you. And again, that's not a negative thing. It's just a different reality. But me, I got to pull from the depths of my own fucking soul. And sometimes, and a lot of times with introverts, depending on how big your goals are, and there's some deep, right? Well, let's just go over your head. When you're an introvert and you have a lot of big goals, that pretty much you have to go outside your body for, or outside your physical experience. You have a lot of dark nights of the soul. From my experience as an introvert, when you have big goals, you have a lot of dark nights of the soul. Because there is no external validation, so you have to trust your own instinct. You have to trust your own gut. You have to trust your own intuition. And I would even say those are three different things: your gut, your intuition, and your instinct. Your intuition is spirit speaking to you. It's the creator speaking to you. Your gut is something that your body is feeling, like through your five senses, and it communicates to your brain and your intuition that like it's wrong. I don't believe your intuition and your gut is the same thing. For some of us it's the same thing, but for me it's not. If my gut is telling me something and I feel it in my body, like that something's wrong or something's right, then that's a different sensation, in my opinion. Your gut, your intuition, and your instinct. Your instinct, in my opinion, is something that is there, but it needs to be developed. Like it's a combination of your intuition and your intuition and your gut. Read T. Jake's instinct on that, but it's a combination of your gut and your intuition, where it's something that's primal and carnal, but it elevates as you develop and as you use it through a certain vehicle. And that's how I word that, right? So it needs a vehicle, or your instinct will always just be like a primal thing. It'll be like a sexual raw thing. And my phone, it has 2 minutes of recording, so it's gonna be part 1. But yeah, it's just different. So, but an extrovert doesn't really get that until they have to do stuff. They have to do stuff for them to get stuff. Like, okay, let me tell you the difference, right? An old friend of mine said one time, she said experience is the best teacher. That is so extroverted. So extroverted. I say other people's experience is the best teacher. And what I mean by that is I feel you can live two ways: vicariously through others, where you're learning through the eyes of others, and then like it being through mentors, books, relationships. You don't always have to go through it for you to understand it. I don't believe that. I think that's bullshit. But that's a very extroverted philosophy. An introverted philosophy says, no, I can observe, be still, listen, pay attention. Like the best thing that's ever helped me in my life is I see what people are doing wrong and I don't do it. I do the opposite. That's very introverted. Extroverts say, fuck it, I'm gonna go try it myself. And then they fail and say, oh, that's not right. I said, bitch, You had to go through that to you had to go through that to understand that's wrong? I know you fucking lying. Like the only reason why I don't have kids right now is because I've seen other people struggle with kids, and I said, boss, we're not doing that. Only because as an introvert, I saw it, I observed it, I felt it. I said, no, ma'am, no, thank you, no, sir. But an extrovert said, that's not bad, and then they externalize whatever they're going through, have the kids, and then they feel the reality that I've been saw. I said, bitch, you had to go through that to see that. Like an introvert would tell an extrovert, yo, and I've done this, that is going to bring you a lot more than you think it's going to bring in a negative way. And the extrovert dismisses the introvert, saying, nah, it's not that. They think having kids is all wonderful, and then reality hits. Part 1.